Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Friday, April 23rd, 2010. Well, folks, the market's again slowly increasing throughout the afternoon session after a wild morning of ups and downs. In the morning, we got some new home sales data, plus 27%. Now, again, it's a little misleading to understand that number because initially you would look at that number and say, wow, that's an unbelievable number. Things must be going very, very well. But please remember, as of this Friday, the tax credit expires, and it's everyone jumping in, trying to get in ahead of that expiration of the tax credit that drove those home sales up so much. So initially what you saw was a big jump up into those home sales and those home sale reports, and then after that we saw a nice topping tail here on the charts, and the market sell off into the afternoon session. What you happened, or at least into the late morning session, what happened then was the market started to just gyrate here. You have a nice bottoming tail. Notice the topping tail was a signal for a down move. The bottoming tail, double bottom, beautiful double bottom, was a signal that the markets were going to start to float up. And then volume, again, volume just dying out here. Look at the volume over the late afternoon or mid-afternoon session here into the 2:30 time frame. Unbelievably light. That's let the market float sideways to up, heading back towards the highs of the day. So a really nice analysis portion of the video. Very simple today. Home sales comes in at 27% additional growth. And again, sure enough, the markets initially rally on that. Then they realize, wait a minute, the tax credit is expiring Friday. That's why everyone's trying to get in on those home sales right now. The market sells off as the volume is still okay during the day. We come back, beautiful little bottoming tail there, little double bottom from earlier in the morning session on the gap down. And then from that point on, the markets float sideways to up on extremely light volume. Markets are trading slightly positive today. Dow up 30 points, NASDAQ up 1 point, and S&P up about 4 points on the day. Basically, the NASDAQ is flat. The S&P and the Dow are up 0.3%. Now, a couple other things to note here. Yesterday, we had that beautiful reversal off the lows, an unbelievable reversal, closing just off the highs of the day. Today, we had a small gap down on the back of some not-so-great earnings out of Amazon. Amazon, again, they would beat expectations, but the market needs more than just beating expectations right now to continue its move to the upside. So, sure enough, you have a little topping tail into the last candle of the day. What is that topping tail signal? Possible short-term drop. The market gaps down today, completing that, coming back in here to the 20-moving average, and this major trend line at approximately 120.65 right here before reversing to the upside, topping tail, reversing to the downside, bottoming tail, and then floating to the upside towards a double top. You'll have resistance up in this range, guys. Very likely you float up into this range here on the upside of this market at around 121.50 to 55. That would be a 52-week high area, double top on the markets. And again, we, in spirit of, hit it this morning before creating that topping tail area. Now, not expected to really see any downside today. Today's Friday. Very often you'll see upside in the markets on Fridays. Just the nature of the beast. We talked about this before. It's much better for the consumer to be outspending on the weekend when the markets end positive or flat on the day. If you have a big sell-off of down 300 points on the Dow or 500 points, who's going to really have the guts or nerve to go out and spend big when you're a little worried about the markets, you're a little worried about your 401k, your IRA, etc. All of those factors come into play. So again, we're talking more the manipulation side of the market, but it's a fair side to really analyze and understand. All right? Now, let's go over the other charts here. I want to flip to the 60-minute chart. 60-minute chart kind of fascinating today. You can see yesterday we came down. This trend line's become the big trend line. Yesterday we did not, or actually I should say on the 19th, we did not confirm. That was Monday. You could not confirm below. You rallied back. That kick-started a rally that took us up to this pivot point. We sold off down to that same line, pierced it multiple times, could not break it. Then we moved up into this pivot line. That's where we stalled out. We came in, initially moving above it, then coming back in, and then therefore we've moved up towards the double top of the day. Now, some stocks in motion today. What are they? Well, let's take a look at my list so we can go over a couple of the charts here. We'll go over the 60-minute charts today to take a look. At Goldman Sachs is negative, JP Morgan is flat. So financials overall are kind of a mixed bag. Even though the markets are slightly positive, financials are really not leading the market today. And again, Goldman Sachs down about $1.40. We'll punch up that chart on the 60-minute here. There it is. You can see ever since the big drop after the fraud case, ever since then, it's kind of just hovering now. In fact, you're making some sort of little triangular pattern. Here, take a look at this. All right, notice from this pivot high right here, connected to this high and to this high, you have a little bit of a triangular pattern there. Then if you take the lows here, let's take this low pivot and just connect it right through. Look at that. Hovering, and right now you're hovering on support. So which way is this going to break? Is Goldman going to break to the upside? Is it going to break to the downside? We should know probably Monday or Tuesday of next week, and then the direction it breaks, expect a significant move in that direction, okay? In addition, I want to touch on the UNG. UNG's having a very nice day. Now, my traders in the research center and the intraday stock chat, got a nice little call here on the UNG. My big analysis of the UNG basically was telling them over the last week or two that as long as the UNG did not take out the lows, the 52-week lows, in my analysis, it was making a nice little bottom. And I want to show you the daily chart on this chart here on the natural gas ETF. Here's your double bottom, right? And after making that, we had a nice significant up move. What this is known as confirmation. It's a confirmation move off the lows. And again, this is something that we really don't get into in these free videos because it's a research center thing. But just so you know, this is a signal of confirmation right in here. In addition, that basically says is as long as you don't take out the low here, this chart could continue up. So every pullback, I said, is a buying opportunity. Buying right here. Bam. Pulled back here again. Buy. As long as it doesn't take out that low, it's a buy. And the nat gas is having a great day today. It's about 60 cents off the latest signal of a buy on this at 6.90, which was beautiful. Now it's back to 7.57, close to 70-cent move on the UNG. Oil overall, guys, oil is up about 61 cents on the USO. It's a nice move. You can see some charting here, analysis type stuff going on as we continue to give live analysis in the intraday stock chat using our charts as well. The dollar has been really the catalyst to keep this market floating, and I want to touch on this chart on the 10-minute. Look at the dollar today, folks. I mean, this has just been a cataclysmic drop on the dollar, not because the dollar's down so much on the day, but more so because the dollar gapped up today in a major way. Dollar UUP gaps much, much higher, fell all the way down. Look at this drop, pause, and drop, and sure enough, that's a good reason why the markets are handling themselves to the upside and staying up pretty nicely on the charts. So very, very nice there on the UUP, keeping this market up. That's keeping gold on the positive side as well. The GLD up $1.21 is a beautiful move on that GLD as well. All right, a couple other stocks to go over. ExxonMobil is just slightly positive. You can see it's had a big move up here, and then it's now pulling back a little bit. But from the first course of the day, it was kind of sideways. Then again, started to rip higher, now pulling back a little bit. Chevron as well, having a solid day, up 89 cents. You can see a strong move there. Those two stocks are big key pushers in this market. Apple Computer continues its dominance, up $4. Google and Baidu are mixed. Research in Motion and Amazon both getting hit a little bit today. Amazon down as earnings yesterday. Again, they came in very nicely at 66 cents a share, but the whisper number needed 70 cents or better to continue its upward momentum. It did not get that. All right, that's really all for today, folks. Again, join the Research Center. I just put out a new play on the Research Center as well, a new play that, again, this week we've had some unbelievable successes and continued profits in that hot charts and alerts inside the Research Center. Want to get involved in that? Come sign up and, again, start making money like the pros. Take care.